My dad passed away 3 years ago of a heart attack. Both of my grandfathers died of heart attacks. My uncle on my mum's side had a heart attack this year. He didn't die, but he did have a heart attack, so there's definitely family history of heart attacks on both sides. But Dad's death hammered at home that if I stayed as big as I was, I wouldn't have had long to live. The biggest I got to was 169 kilos, wearing a 7XL shirt and 135 centimetre pants. I was on 4 to 6 600ml bottles of Coke a day, plus 2 to 4 cans of Red Bull a day. So massive amounts of sugar, massive handfuls of chocolate. I mean, my family have called me fat for years, so I just kind of accepted that's who I was. I was going to be the big guy. I had never stepped foot inside a gym before that day, but as I said, like, Dad's death hammered at home that if I stayed as big as I was, I wouldn't have had long to live.
When he first came in, it was very daunting, you know, how much weight he had to lose. We weren't really sure how much exactly. We thought around 90 kilos or 95 originally. So we just got to break that down to more manageable goals. If you said to someone you've got to lose 80 kilos, it's very difficult for them to just mentally grasp that. So we just did some small goals along the way. Excellent, now keep it up.
We played with my diet multiple times, and I think that was one of the things that helped make it successful, was not going, right, you've been eating all this crap, now you have to eat clean 100% of the time from now, because that wouldn't work. But we cut it out gradually. We cut out the really bad things straight away.
Then we started to do extra PT sessions along the way. If he hit his goal, he got a free PT session every week, which obviously helped him get his goals more and more as well.
My first session with Andy was interval training. It was doing 2 minutes on the cross trainer, then doing some weights, then back on the cross trainer again. I could barely last the 2 minutes. I was really out of breath by the end of that 2 minutes. I found that really hard.
Well, obviously, we had a few health issues in terms of his high blood pressure and high glucose levels, and obviously not having much cardio fitness. So we had to start very simple and just very small exercise bouts and have a bit of a rest time in between. His fitness did improve very, very quickly. His resting heart rate dropped remarkably quickly, even to a point where we got checked by doctors. We thought maybe it dropped a bit too low quickly, but thankfully that was just because his health had improved so much.
When you're actually coming here and you're seeing the weight come off, it drives you to keep coming back, because you know if you do stop, obviously the weight at the very least will stop coming off and most likely go back on.
I wouldn't say I was surprised. I think I'm very proud of his achievements, as obviously Malcolm should be himself, but just from his personality type and seeing how hard he trained initially, we sort of knew it would come, just whether it would take the 12 months which it has, whether it would take 18 months or 2 years. So thankfully it's come at the quicker end.
Other people kept telling me how much weight I'm losing. I couldn't see it. I could still see the fat. But it has got to the point where over sort of the last 4 or 5 months, whenever I was working out and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm looking at my skinny face and I'm like, whose face is that? I just don't recognise it because it's so different to how I was then. Well, I've lost roughly 80 kilos in the last year. How do I feel? I feel fantastic.
Whether it's someone losing weight or someone who's competing in a sport, who's trying to improve their time, it's really rewarding to see them change, to see them reach their goals. You know, whether they're improving a rowing time or losing their body weight. It's actually a really good feeling of satisfaction for myself.
I never thought I would say that sentence, that exercise is fun, but it is. Certainly a year ago I never would have said that. In the last few weeks we had a farewell for someone at work, and there were people there that I haven't seen for quite a while. A lot of them, if I didn't tell them who it was, that you could tell from their face they didn't know, which on one hand is annoying, but on the other hand it's like, it's fantastic because it just drums home how different I now am.